Hi everybody, this is Jackie and welcome to Jacqueline Ann Designs. This is floss tube number 7. I'm still very much a beginner and still very slow. I wanted to start out by talking about something that's going to be up and coming again. I already did a floss tube special on it. It's going to be on Instagram. So I'm having to figure out Instagram. And it's going to be with Colorado Stitcher. And it's a stitch along, and I'm going to be participating in that. So when I talked about it before, I did not have all of my projects kitted out. What did I do with one? Oh, here it is. And also, I just knew, since it wasn't a regular floss tube, that there might be some of you that would watch now. But I want to emphasize that the Colorado Stitcher is doing this. It's starting on June the 1st. And I'm trying to bring it up again in case anyone else here wants to do it, so that you can either go into your stash and find things that work for you, or, you know, get them here. Because we've only got like a week and a half until it starts. And Colorado Stitcher, I guess, has been doing this every year for a while now. Stitch Camp. It's a virtual stitch along that she does. She's going to be putting the details over on her Instagram channel, I believe. She did give a little bit of information about it on her one of her last couple of videos on her channel, and you won't know unless you watch the entire video that it's in there. I will try to put a link down below. I put it in the special floss tube the other day, and I'll try to put a link to her channel to that video in the description below here as well. But I haven't found her Instagram channel yet. I'm going to do that here in the next day or two and kind of figure out how Instagram works a little bit. But I have got my projects together, so that you can gather your projects. I thought I would go over. She's already given the cues out, so I'm going to kind of go over it and tell you a little bit. There's mainly one rule: they have to be a brand new start each month. She does not want you to start it early. And the first of each month, what you're going to do is take a picture of all of your items, all of your supplies for that project. And I do not believe they need to be fully finished. I just think they need to be finished. And then you're at the end. However, don't be disheartened if you're not finishing in a month, or you choose a pattern that you know, okay, that's not going to get done in a month, but I really want to work on this in June, and it fits in with the prompt. Because she'll be having giveaways for those who finish the projects, and then there's also going to be giveaways that people didn't finish their project can also participate in, because some of the projects are going to be bigger. So without further ado, like I said, that's the 2 rules. Basically, remember the giveaways when you're thinking about what you're going to do. And also, I believe she said there's going to be a total of 8 giveaways each month of the 3-month period this is going on. So it'll be going on June, July, and August. The first of each month, you take pictures of whatever project it is you're starting for that month. So you're going to need 3 projects. Okay, and she's given the prompts for those projects. And then at the end, or I guess you could probably stitch it at any time, just to say you participated in the Stitch Camp. She, I guess, is going to be putting a link to her website where you can go and download a badge that says you participated in Stitch Camp of 2025. And she showed her bag where she's been putting them over the years. It's really cute. And she just cross-stitched them, and then she's done iron-on stuff on the back of them and ironed them onto her project bags. And they are really cute. So anyway, so you're going to start a project each of these months. The goal is to try and pick a project that you can finish, but if the one you chose isn't going to get finished, you kind of know that ahead of time, because you know the project and you know what your schedule is for the month of June. You know, kids are getting out of school, everybody has schedules. So and then you have to take a picture and post it on the first of the month of what your project is going to be for the month, say for the month of June. As far as I know, it's the first. Now I'm going to show you what my 3 projects are. I went over them briefly in the other video, but I want to show you what my 3 projects are going to be, and at the same time I will tell you what the prompts are. Now the first prompt is, what time of the day do you like to stitch? Now I have kind of my favorite time to stitch is whenever it's raining. I love the sound. Now, unless it's a bad storm, and we get them here in the panhandle of Texas, let me tell you, Tornado Alley. So whenever it's raining or there is a storm, I usually have a podcast or something on, and then I have the weather mat also on. So like 2 windows on, and I'm watching them both at the same time. You really do have to, whenever there's a storm here in this area of the country, you have to be on the alert for tornadoes. So you're constantly camping out watching for that. So, but other than that, my favorite time is in the morning. I get most of my stitching done, honestly, in the evening, but my favorite time is in the morning. I enjoy stitching and kind of listening to the birds. By the way, if you hear a squeak, maybe a dog throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum because she's losing her ball into the furniture and I'm not going to stop recording to go get it, that kind of thing. I have a little Yorkie poo, and she's my baby girl. But unfortunately, I've spoiled her a little bit, and she demands that I do certain things right away. And right now, she's trying to get me to play ball. This happens in a lot of videos, and I just don't think she likes the attention that I pay to the phone, which is where I am filming this. So she tries to divert that attention. So anyway, my favorite time is in the morning. I enjoy listening to the birds, other than the rain. I enjoy listening to the birds sing, and when the sun's coming up. And so I get up right as the sun's coming up at most mornings. And even if I really should be doing something else, I'm going to take some time to stitch because it's my favorite time. And it's just a peaceful time. And so what I found, and this was on the Colorado Stitchers website, it was this Robin Pickens pattern, Seasonal Courier, Blue Jays Summer. Now the Blue Jays Summer, and I think it might be this way in all of these, she did a series of these for each season. And I think it might have been this way for all of them, as there was 2. I know for this one at least there's one that's more rectangular and a little bit bigger. But the ones that I found for the other seasons were this size, and I just decided to do them all for this size, and I liked the size of it, and I just think it's really cute. When it's done, it will be 5 3/8 inch. This is the stitched area, 5 3/8 inch by 7 5/8 inch. Now the model that's in the picture was originally stitched on Prim 25 count Laguna vintage cross stitch cloth from Lori Holt for Zweigart. So it's a Prim, and I thought, well, what's the difference? It was double the price. What was the difference? And it says it's a finer, kind of more luxurious fabric. So I just decided, because I'm a senior on a really tight budget, to just go with the regular Laguna. And I started trying to find the Laguna in the color that I was kind of seeing, and I ended up finding that, and it was also ended up being Lori Holt, and I suppose that's why the color is so close to this one. And it ended up being a Lori Holt cloth, and it's her, so she calls them Lori Holt cloth. It's parchment is the color, and it's 25 count even weave. Now it's much larger than what I needed, but I will use it. The leftovers, you well know, and it's Riley Bakes Designs, but it's actually a Zweigart fabric. So, and my understanding is that the Lori Holt fabrics are all called something else in the Zweigart line, but she wanted them so that they matched the projects in some of her cross stitch patterns, and so that's why they're separated out. So, but I'm going to use that as my cloth and the called for DMC threads. So that is that. That is the first cue. Now the second cue, she wants you to pick your favorite designer. Now, I haven't been doing this long enough to have a favorite designer, but I do like the primitives of Teresa Kogut, so I just ended up choosing that. And I really like this design. It's been in my stash for several years. I think like 4 years, maybe closer to 5. And but it's by Teresa Kogut at Creative Whims. And this is XS 293. It's Psalm 91:11. For he will command his angels to guard you in all your ways. Psalms 91:11. And and like I said, you'll end up with a 9.5 by 7-inch stitched area. That was on a 32 count charcoal linen. It called for linen. I was a little bit afraid of linen, especially in a darker color. Plus, I couldn't find this one. It calls for XJU design 32 count charcoal linen, and I could not find that anywhere. So what I ended up doing was I also ordered this from Colorado Stitcher, and it's just a 32 count charcoal Laguna, and it looks like it'll work out really well. I did a thread toss on it. The called for threads all looked really nice with it. So that's what I chose. Now, the third month is she wants you to do something new and challenging for yourself. As far, do a new thing in your stitching that you've never done before, and I've never stitched on linen. So I had gone to Joann's, and as you guys know, Joann's has been having all these closeout sales, but really nothing is that inexpensive in there. But I got this 28 count DMC linen, and it's pretty even as far as the weave. I can see some slight variations in it. It's very thin, but for me that's fine. I'm just learning how to sew on linen. Now, and what I'm going to do are these mini sampler bookmarks, and I had this on here on my floss tube before, and I just decided, since it fit in with the theme for August in the Stitch Camp, I would put it aside for that. So that's what I've done, and it's these 3 bookmarks. They're mini samplers. I might switch some of the designs around and do a 4th one as well as a gift for an avid book reader who is not a sewist. So, but I think they're really, really cute, and I think they'll look nice on this linen. And then I'll back them, and we'll see how they look. And then I'm using the called for threads. No, actually I'm not. I kitted it out of my own threads is what I ended up doing. Where am I? So that is that one. Now, I want to talk first of all about my focal ones right now. Now, starting next month in June, of course, my Stitch Camp, one of those is going to become a focal piece. My next focal piece that I'm doing right now that I've kind of barely started on, you'll see it's a sampler. And it is this mystery sampler. And it is from the magazine that went out of business called The Gift of Stitching. A few months ago, I believe it was after Christmas at some point. They closed down. They'd quit producing a magazine some years ago, but were still selling it digitally. The magazine went out of business. It's out of New Zealand. It went out of business, and then for some years they sold their digital copies online. And early this spring they said they were closing down. They weren't going to be selling them anymore, and to my knowledge that happened. And they had a sale, like for 28 something. You could buy it was 28, almost $29. You could buy PDF of all of their copies of the magazines. And in the examples they showed, there were some beautiful projects in there, and I was a little bit nervous about it, and lo and behold, it was a great buy. it was not a scam. It was a great buy. And the very first issue, which was September of 2006, they started on this 5-month mystery sampler. And so you'll do a month of it. This is the first month. And then next month you'll do another section. It's divided up to be done over 5 months. And it's an alphabet sampler. If you look closely at it, I know it's small. There's not a better picture of it. So, but you can see the alphabet that's on there so far, and you can see what I've done of it. Okay, and we are stitching this on 28 count Laguna, and I don't know who made this. It's been in my stash. I don't know who made it. I do apologize. But it's kind of a modelly, almost a parchment looking color, but it's a 28 count. But anyway, so this is where I've got, and I only have ended up working on it from 2 stitching sessions so far. I know I need to quit putting my needle in here. I've ordered a needle holder. I've actually found a group of them on sale on Amazon, so even though maybe they're not the cutesy ones, they'll work for now. And so anyway, I did start on this one. I've gotten the A done, and there's some specialty stitches on here as well, so there's a lot of learning for me on this one. So I've got that one, and this is one that everybody that's been watching me knows that I've been working on, and it's the cherry sampler, and it was actually a $1 purchase that I got from a thrift store. And I've done a little bit on it. Mainly I've corrected some errors that I've made, and then I made one more line on the top border and corrected those errors, and then I put a line on the top border. So here's the sampler, and what I did was this border up here, and that's the one I had to go back and do all the corrections on, and then I've done this little line here. So my next step will be to start here in this corner for the letters. And when this is going to be done on, this will end up being 9 inches by 20 inches. The designer was Ursula Michael. This is 14 count Ada cloth, and it came with the red floss with it. And here it is so far. If you didn't hear my pup growl, she is just wanting this attention. So here it is. You can see where I was practicing drawing the graph, stitching in a graft here. I did a terrible job. It has been helpful, but no way you could use it as a definite thing. So there's that one. Now I'm going to show you this one. It was supposed to be a focus project. It is not. I'm going to put it aside. I am going to complete it. It's a 16 count Ada, and I am still having trouble seeing it. But it's one of those things. It's on 18 count Charles Craft Ada fabric. When it finishes, it's supposed to be 4 inches by 4 inches, a pin cushion, upside down, of Old Faithful at Yellowstone Park. And I worked for the nonprofit in Yellowstone and fell in love with the park. And so, and this is one of the things I wanted to stitch. I bought this in the gift shop there at one point, the first year I worked out there, and it's just been sitting around since then. And I'm telling you, I'm still having trouble with it. So we'll see. I am going to be having some eye surgery, so maybe at that point I will be able to do it. Now, and this is my, and then I'll just show you my other whips. This is my last focus fab project, and I really don't think I've gotten any further on it since you guys were last here, because I've been working on some slow stitch projects and some other things, and the ones you just saw. But I absolutely love this I love peacocks. And this one is, it's out of Lithuania. It's a kit, and there is a matching kit that goes with it that is 2 peacocks. They're in different positions. I'm hoping to order that. They're kind of expensive, But by the same token, when you look at how much it costs to buy your fabric and everything for a project, you know, maybe they're still a little high because they're on Aida fabric. But, you know, it's a good brand and, you know, all of that. So, but I really like it, and I have not been able to find a used pattern, or anyway, just to get the pattern only. And now that I bought this, I want the second one to match it. So I'm probably going to end up buying it. But I ordered this off of Amazon. It's a Riolis. It's got cross stitch, half cross stitch, back cross stitch, and you also learn to combine your colors, which is just mixing the threads on your one floss of red, one floss of pink, or you know, whatever it happens to be. Of course, there's no pink or red on this project, but I think you get what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to show you the project where I'm at on it. It has anchor thread with it, so I'm using the kitted anchor thread. The pattern is very nice. It's bright colors, but they do not tell you any kind of numbers. Like some of them will say, even though they have the kit there, it'll say this is DMC number so and so. So if you run out of thread, say you have a major catastrophe and you've got to pull out a lot of thread, you don't know. The only thing you can, and I don't know anywhere around here that sells anchor thread anyway. I don't know if there is anywhere. I'd have to look online, but I couldn't compare the colors because I don't know. So I think what I would have to do if something like that were to happen is just go up to places here locally that carry DMC and take a piece of the thread with me that I need, you know, like a little scrap of it, and see if I can find one, as close as I can get. So I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, so here is where I'm at. I'm starting on the second part of it. It's divided up into 6 parts, and here it is so far. I think it's exactly where it was on my last video. And I haven't done any of the back stitching over here that really defines this yet. Kind of thinking of putting the back stitching away. And then right here is where I'm starting on the back of the peacock. So I am loving this, and I think I'm going to love it when it's done. So anyway, I really like it. Now it doesn't say the color of this but it's kind of like a tea. It's almost like a tea dyed color. It doesn't give you the color, but now, and so the rest of these are still whips, works in project that I haven't really done anything on since the last time we were here. Now these patterns do not come with a picture. I'm going to do my best not to reveal a significant enough amount of the pattern, but all there was, these were some of the ones that some of them I was given for free, and some of them I paid $2 for from the same lady. And it's a floral, and it's here when I get done with another project. This one will be slipping in. You know, I've got like 3 or 4 projects here that as I get some others completed, then these will be slipping in, and they've all been started already. I was just getting overwhelmed by having too many whips. I've got some of my whips I took out of my current project box, and they're up here on the shelf now, because it was just, I don't know how people do it. It was just too overwhelming to me. See, it's a pretty floral, and it might have been one of the ones that she brought me for free. I'm not really sure. And really, I think, like I said, I haven't gotten any further on it. But I've actually got a lot done on it. It's just that I don't think you can see it well because of what it is I've gotten done, and it's the backgrounds. See it? I think I have gotten some done since I last saw you. I've worked a little bit on the background. Yeah. So there is that one. Okay, she's up behind me now trying to throw the ball at my back. And I'm using the kitted threads. And it's Aida fabric that came with it, and it is a this is a 14 count Aida thread, I believe. No, it's an 11 count. So I'm using three threads on this one. that one. Now this other one I'm really anxious to get started on, so actually this will probably be the one, and it's actually started, but I started on it before I got my jeweler's glasses, and I was just having the dickens of a time with it. And this is Lori Holt's Neighborhood, and I'm going to do the whole series of these. I wanted to do this quilt this year. She has a quilt, and you can do it in two different ways. There's a applique quilt, or there is a sewing machine embroidery. Like if you have a sewing machine that does embroidery, she also put this out in a program for your machine, if your machine does embroidery, which mine doesn't. And I thought about trading in to get one. I've just decided I like handwork, so I probably won't be doing that. I mean, I'm at my machine daily, so don't get me wrong, I love my machine, but I don't really think I need an embroidery machine. So there is that, and this is the teacup house, and it's from her hometown neighborhood. It's one of 12. I've got another one of hers. It's the sunflower, and by the way, I may have mentioned it in the past. When we hit, I've got different giveaways scheduled. Right now, on June the 1st, I'm going to be giving away, for the slow stitchers who watch, a slow stitch pack. So just remember, if you are interested in that, I'm going to talk about that in a separate video one more time, so that because I need, only one person has really responded, and I really would like to see some other people respond. Okay, so anyway, and it's the sunflower house. So I got two patterns when I got that, one for me and one to give away. I purchased two. So, and then there's another gift of some Renaissance ribbon that is very, very special, and I'm going to show those again as we get closer to probably mid next week, as we get closer to June the 1st, because that's when I'm going to draw the name, is June the 1st. But anyway, so this one, and I actually start on this. It's a nice pattern. It's divided right up the middle of the doorway here. And so this part's on the top of the pattern. This part here is all in the lower part of the pattern. And so I started on it level with the door. And what I did fine until I got to this row of these little pink framings inside of the door. And the color of the thread, I just couldn't do it. And the rest of it looks nice until you get to that pink. And like I said, it's all to do with my vision. And when I said, I'm gonna mess this thing up, so I put it away. But I put it back into my queue, and when I get done with some of my other focus projects, this one's gonna be the next one actually to jump forward, not the other floral. And I'll show you what I've gotten done on it so far. But this is Lori Holt's, the tea house from Hometown Neighborhood. So I want to be really careful. This is another one of the Lori Holt Lagunas, and this one's just called Farmhouse. That's what she calls the color. And it's a 25 count Laguna even weave, and it's one of those again that she did together with Riley Blake Designs and Zweigart. So I don't know what Zweigart calls it, because she has changed the name. But so this is the very top of the door, and here is the door handle. So, and the pink inside is the part that I messed up so bad. So I think I can get that apart pretty easily without messing up the rest. And then just do the pink over with and continue on. Because I'm using the same count. And I'm thinking it's going to be so much easier. I mean, I've been able to do the other Lagunas now and use pink on another project for someone else. That I'm not going to show you because that person watches. So it won't be on my floss tube. But anyway, and I think it'll look good. So that's where that one is at. And I don't know how much of this. I'm going to order my fabric from Fat Quarter Shop each time I order the other patterns, because I want them to match. I don't know if there's a total of 12 of them, and I want to display them with my kit, with my quilt when I get it done. I'm going to dedicate an entire wall because I love it. I like houses. It's not that I'm a huge Roy Holt fan, although I do like her stuff. I'm using the called for DMCs, and this is my last whip. And so the flowers will get added into my focus things after the hometown, and then after that will be this one. And this one is this is another one of the stamped cross stitch patterns. This is a Joyce Sunday cross stitch pattern. It was another, I got this one in that batch of them. They were all $2 a piece off Marketplace. Do I recommend the stamped ones? Some of them I'm going to tell you are better quality than others when it comes to the thread and the fabric. This is supposed to be one that's highly rated, and I have another whip that I put away. I mean, I'll eventually dig it out again, but I took it out and it's up in my box up there because the thread quality in it is just so bad. And at paying $2 for it, I haven't enjoyed it at all. And it's a Van Gogh Starry Nights, and you know that a lot of different companies put out the Van Gogh Starry Night, and this particular version of it, I just don't like it. And I've seen some much prettier ones, and if I'm going to rekit it to as far as threads, I'm going to just put it away, and at some point I will take it out and complete it. I'm sure I will. I'll get bored and think about it and pull it out. That's just me. But for right now, I put it away, and because I want to do one of the Van Goghs that I saw that I just felt the colors were better in it, just better. It was just better designed, better done. And so I will be doing that. Now this one, I absolutely have not gotten anything done since the last time y'all saw me. And I should, because it's a small one. But all I got done on it was where I was working on the sky. You can see right up in here. And I have not worked on this one since you last saw it, because I just decided, like I said, I had gotten a little bit overwhelmed with how many starts I had done. Okay. So those are my works in progress right now. I want to start on these and getting these. I still haven't done it. I've got the fabric, I've got the thread. The only thing is, I think I mentioned in the last one, I'm not a Halloween person, and I'm not going to do that. But these are the 12 monthly minis designed by Lindsay Waite, Primrose Cottage. So you can use them for pin cushions, little pillows to put in a basket, whatever you'd like. And I'm just not a Halloween person, so I'll do something else in its spot that particular month. But since I'm getting a late start on them in the year, I will, this will go into next year. But they're really, really cute. So, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the season I'm in. So it'll be summer. So I'll start with some of the summery ones and go from there. I kind of like this one here. That's the bee one. And I think it'd be a pretty quick stitch. So that'll probably be the first one I'll do, because I kind of like those kind of things with bees. And so that is up and coming. Now, I have a lot of others that I have started. I've started this one by Thea Governor, and it's a Christmas kit. Let me turn it right side up. And I have started it just like 4 or 5 stitches up in the corner. I'm not going to take it all out of the package, but I think I'm going to start working on this in August. There's 2 Christmas ones that I want to do, and I think, and I'll show you the second one here in a minute. But I think I'm going to start on this in August. I'm not really counting that, and I put aside some of the others, and then another one that's coming up pretty soon. Is I want to start on this. This is by Orenco Originals, and this is the Angel Gabriel, and what they are is they're stained glass windows. I haven't picked my threads or fabrics or anything, but I think I'm probably going to start this in September. Yeah, I haven't picked anything about it other than the pattern. And it, like I said, they're taken from cathedrals and things where there are stained glass windows. I just really thought they were gorgeous. And then in October, like I said, I'm not really into Halloween stuff, but I'm gonna do this birds and the acanthus vine. And this is not a very clear picture here of it, but I've seen where someone else did it and it was absolutely gorgeous. And it's a William Morris piece. And like I said, I haven't kitted these out or made any fabric decisions or anything on them. But they're total coverage, so I believe even, I think Gabriel is as well. Yeah, they're both total coverage. So the color is not going to make any difference. It's just going to be the count and what fabric I choose. And then in November, let's see, here it is. This is all kitted out as far as the thread, but I haven't bought the fabric yet. I've got all my threads here. They're all D&Cs. But you might be able to see it down in this bottom corner. This is also from the Gift of Stitching magazine, and I want to do this Santa sampler. So by the time Christmas comes, even though I may not have all these others finished, I want my focuses to be on for November and December to be these two Christmas ones. I'll probably do one where I'll work on it in the morning and one to be in the evening and kind of take a break from the others. We'll see what happens. You know how you get the itch to work on something different than what you had planned. That's how it kind of stands right now. I've got the thread all for it here. I went through my stash and I actually had it, the called for threads, but I haven't yet got the picked out the fabric or anything like that, because it's just been other things I've thought about. This is one that I started and I put it over here. At some point that'll get added in. It is started, but I haven't done anything on it, and it's such an insignificant amount that's done on it that I'm not going to bring it back out right now. These others are the Gift of Stitching magazines that have the rest of that sampler in it. I guess though I can show you a picture of what it looks like. The mystery one that I showed you earlier that I'm working on, see that right there? That's what it's going to look like when it's done. It's quite a pretty sampler. Okay. There is one that I want to do here very soon. I'm just going to try to fit it in, and then I'll work on it occasionally. This one here, and it's called Woman Sewing by Lamplight, and it was a feature in the feature one, in the same one where the mystery one I'm doing now. The feature was this one. Let me find a better picture of it for you. The designer of this one is Stoyanka Ivanova of Solaria Gallery, and she started out, according to this article in here about her, she started out wanting to stitch reproductions of the great art masters, and she was doing that, and then she became interested in doing some art herself. And this is one of the pictures that she painted, is this picture. See the little child in the bed? And so she created this as a cross stitch pattern, and it's in the September 6th issue of the Gifts of Stitching, that magazine. So that magazine's not available, but if you were lucky enough to get in on that deal, then you'll have it, whether you've got them on PDFs on a stick, memory stick, or however you're storing them. So I'm going to add this one in here pretty quick. And then, and I guess, you know, since the magazines are on PDFs, it would be pretty easy for you to do. And then I want to do this heart. And I'm going to do it as a pillow. And I'm going to do it on, it says here, this is Wedgwood Blue. If I can find a Wedgwood Blue Lugana that I like at a reasonable price, I'll probably do it on that. And then I like the way they did the Wedgwood Blue with white. Actually, kind of a cream is what I would pick, because they surrounded it with pearls. And this is the pattern right here. Here they did it on paper. I can't show you that. That's the... but anyway, and but I would like to do it as the little, like a little pincushion looking thing, and put it in my pincushion collection. It's really pretty. But it'll be this, only I'm going to do it with the Wedgwood Blue and a cream colored linen. I mean cream colored thing. And then I'd like to do this one. This one was in this first issue as well. I just don't like the border on it. I have a little niece that just keeps falling in love. And I thought I would make her this, but I want to do a different, I think it's a rather simple pattern in the center. This is kind of a complicated border, and I hope it goes where you can read. He loves me. And then it's got the flowers where you pick the flowers off. He loves me not, he loves. And then she goes, he loves me, what now? I just thought it was really cute. So I'm going to make that for her. I just thought it was really cute. I'm just going to do a different border on it. I'm going to be creative and come up with something different on it. Something simpler, because I just think that one is just way too elaborate for the piece. I mean, I know a lot of people would like it, but for me, it's too elaborate. So that is some plans as far as the Gift of Stitching magazine. So you can see from the very first floss tube that I did on here, it's the best laid plans of mice and men, because it's totally changed what I'm doing. It is nowhere near the same. So I need to go out. The sun is starting to go down a little bit, although it's still pretty bright out. So I need to go out and get my garden watered and everything while there's some daylight out there to work, but yet before the mosquitoes all come out. So I will see you guys next time, and sometime towards the end of June, I'll be back with another floss tube, although I may do some updates on the cross stitch camp as we go. Okay, but you're going to see some of my other projects starting to show up. I'm just kind of learning this video thing, so really please forgive me. And I know they say to get your area behind you prepped and ready and decorated. I don't have anything to decorate this area yet. This is a newly built little studio on the side of the barn that my family built for me, and it's really cute, and I'm ever so grateful for it. But it's not decorated at all. So I am creating my decorations. Like I say, I'm a retiree on a tight budget, and plus those are just the things I want around me. I just enjoy them, and nobody else really wants them but me, so I might as well do that. So that's my plan, and I have one big huge still life that I'm about to complete, and that's probably going to go on the wall right behind me, at least for now. We'll see. Anyway, talk to you guys on the next floss tube, but in the meanwhile, watch my channel, and there's going to be a giveaway that has nothing to do with floss tube coming up the 1st of June. So if you're a slow stitcher, or if you're interested in slow stitching, make sure that you join now and start commenting with the words India in your comment, okay? And you'll see why when we because I'm going to go ahead here in just a few days and show you that giveaway once again and what all's in the packet. And it's a slow stitch giveaway. Love y'all. Bye-bye.